Okay, hello. My name is Sue Lamar, and I work at the Computer Help Desk. And this is Introduction to Word 2016. So the objectives of the class are by the end of the class, you should be able to create a new document, save a document, use Layout tab and ribbon to format the document. And if we have time, we'll go through how to insert illustrations. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to go through, if you printed out your book, I'm going to go through, you have to open Word. So hope everyone's got Word open. And then I'm going to give you a quick tour of the screen. So up here, this is what's called the ribbon. So right now I'm on the Home tab, just like if you had a desk drawer with little file folders. So in the Home tab, I have my paste, I have cut, copy, and format painter. And then you also have the clipboard. The next grouping in the Home tab are your fonts. So this is fonts in here. So we have right now the font by default, and on my computer is it's Calibri, and the pitch of the font is 11. So that's how big the font is. So I'm going to just type something. I'll type my name, Sue. So if I wanted to change this font, I would highlight it, go up to here where it says the name of the font, and it shows you what the different fonts look like. So maybe I'll change it to Arial or Arial. Okay, so that's at 11 too. So if I want to make this bigger, but I'm not sure how big I want it, I will just click where it says 11, and I can use all the different sizes I can do. You see, when you go hover over them, it automatically makes it bigger. But if I'm not sure how big I want it, I can just click this A next to it, and it'll just increase it in little increments. See how it increases it a little bit at a time? The same with the A next to it, that's a little bit smaller. If I click that, it'll decrease the font size. Then next to that is you change the case. So if I click this little arrow, I can make it sentence case, which would mean at the beginning, every time I type something, because maybe I'm not good at using the shift key and I want to I type everything in lowercase. If I tell it to do sentence case, it automatically will capitalize the first letter of a sentence. If I say lowercase, like right now I made it lowercase, everything's going to be lowercase. I could have it all be uppercase. I could have it compatible, capitalize each word. So each word, at the beginning of each word, it's going to capitalize it. And then I never used this one. Does Annie know what that one is? Well, I forgot to tell you that
Yes.
Annie's helping me. She's in
Yes,
another room.
anything that's uppercase will be lowercase, and anything that's lowercase will be uppercase. Most people don't use it.
So you don't know what this is, Annie?
Yes, I do.
This toggle case?
Toggle case means everything that is uppercase will be lowercase, and
She's
everything.
saying something, but I can't hear her.
Yep, you can't hear me. I'm sorry. Not on mute. So yes, I do. I'll tell you when it is later. I'll put it in the chat.
Do I have you muted maybe?
I don't know.
Okay. We'll have to figure that out. Okay, so underneath that, where I have, after I went through all those letters, then you have a B, and that would make it bold. So if I click that, see how it made it bold? Then I have the italicized, so if I click that, it puts down a little angle. The next one is underline. So if I click that, it's going to underline. Sue didn't underline it. Wait, let me highlight it again. Underline, and so I'll just take this one, so it put the line underneath it. Then next to that, you have this strike through, so if I want it to be struck through, let me highlight it. See, now it put through my name, it put a strike through. Then you have this, which is like a subscript, so it'll type it above, and the next one types it below. Oh, no, sorry, the first one was above, and the next one was below. Okay, then you have your special effects. So this shows you any special effects you would have, because maybe you'd be writing a storybook. So maybe I like this one, so I'll do that. So now it made that all in a special effect. Then you have your highlighting. So let me go back and highlight my name. So this is the same thing as if you had like a yellow highlighter. So if I click that, it highlights my name. And I can pick another color if I just click that little arrow. So if I want it to be in green, let me highlight it. Now it's in green. And the next one is your font color. So I'm going to highlight it again. Red is picked by default. But if I don't want it to be red, I can go to here and I can pick a different color. Are there any questions so far? Okay, I'll just move right along then. Then you have how your paragraphs are aligned. So the first one is bullets. So I'm going to open another document so you can see how bullets work. So let me open another document. Okay, so this is just a document of a bunch of nonsensical words. So if I want some bullets in here, I'm going to highlight where I want the bullets to go. And I click bullets. Now it put bullets in. So it put a bullet at the beginning of each new paragraph. Okay, I can have my bullets be that little dot. You can have it be a cat. You can have it be a pin. So this is just different ones. Check marks. So I'll click check marks. So I got check marks. Then next to that one, you have numbering. So I'm going to undo my bullets. So next to that, you have numbering. So if I click that, it's going to put numbers, like if you were doing an outline. Okay, and then next to that one, then after the numbering, we have the multi-level. So if I click that, so like if you were doing an outline, and that's where it would automatically number it for you. Then we have your indent. So I can decrease my indent. So if I click that, it will decrease the indent. The next one will increase the indent. Then you also have, you can sort. Well, this isn't a good example of something to sort, but if you had like a running list, you could sort it and you'll sort it by paragraphs. The next one is your, it'll show what marks you did on your thing. Let me go and do an undo here. Okay, so if I click this, it's going to show every time I did a carriage return or a space. Like this little mark here means that was a return. And then in between each word, you've got little dots. Here's another carriage return, or enter, I should say. So sometimes people get confused because they accidentally click this and they wonder, what are these marks? I don't want these marks in my document. It will not print those marks. It just shows you so you know where you put in a return or an enter or a space or whatever. So I'm going to take that off. Okay, then here in your paragraphs, you have, whenever you type, it automatically is going to align to the left. If I want it aligned to the center, I would highlight the word quick and then hit center, and it puts it in the center of the page. The next one will put it to the right. And the next one is to justify. So let me show you what justify does. So I'm going to take this first paragraph, just highlight it. And now I'm going to click justify. So see how justify did? It made all the margins even. So my right and left margins are even. So if you type in, like say newspaper print, you don't want the stuff to run off the page. It tries to make it as even as possible. So a lot of people do like to use justify. So that's what that does. Okay, then the next we have the line and spacing. So I'm going to click that. So right now, my line spacing is 1.15. If I want it to be 1, I'm going to go and highlight my paragraph so you can see the difference. If I want it to be 1, so you just moved it all closer together. So that, I think I like the way that 115 looks. It makes it easier to read, I think. Okay. Then you have your shading. So for example, I'm going to highlight my word quick and click this shading. And I'll pick a color. I'll pick this yellow. So see, that's different. It goes across the whole page, not just the word. And then we have the borders. So let me undo that. So I'm going to have quick highlighted. So now I'm going to click bottom border. So see, it put a line across the whole page. So that's the difference between borders and underline. Underline will only underline the words or the text, where the border goes across the whole page. So you have a choice with the borders of a bottom border, top border, left border, right border, all borders. So I'm going to select no borders. Okay, so now I have no borders. Okay, anyone have any questions? Okay. Okay, one thing that I wanted to go through also was the quick access toolbar, which is this right up here. This is the quick access toolbar. So by default, let me fix this. Okay, by default, when you first open Word in your quick access toolbar, you're going to have the little computer disk, which stands for save. Then you have undo, which it'll undo your last 25 things you might have entered. And then you have redo, but redo will only redo the last thing, only one thing at a time. Okay. You can modify this. So like put up there the stuff that you use the most. So like I said at the beginning, most of the things you're going to use are on the Home tab. So I don't put anything on my Quick Access toolbar that's on the Home tab, because if I stay on the Home tab, I don't need it on the Quick Access toolbar. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can customize it. This is on page 7 and 9 in your book, if you did print out your book. So everything that I am going over today is in your book. Okay, so to customize it, right now it's showing I have save, undo, and redo, which is what I said that you get by default. So maybe, I have to always open a lot of different files. So maybe I want to put open there. So I'm going to click open. And now I have the little folder that's halfway open. So that stands for open. Okay. One thing that I do like to put up there is print and print preview. So I'm going to click that one. And now I get the piece of paper with the magnifying glass. Okay. So then I can go to more commands. And first thing that comes up is popular commands. So it shows you all the popular commands that you might want to put up there. So you can put anything up that you want. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to put in there, even though I said you shouldn't put stuff, I'll put draw table. Now click that, say add. So now on my current list, I have draw table. So I'm going to say okay. And now I have my little thing that says draw table. Okay, I can customize it some more. I go to more commands. So as I said before, the first thing shows popular commands. I'm going to say commands that aren't in the ribbon. So these are all the commands that aren't in the ribbon. I've never used any of those, but that's not saying you might have a need for them someday. Then you have all commands. So this would be the commands, the popular commands, the commands that aren't in the ribbon, everything. It's all in alphabetic order. Okay, so I'm just going to say okay. So now when I'm looking at this, something, I don't need that draw table in there. I'm going to take that out. So to get rid of whatever you put in there, go to your more commands. I'm going to click draw table and say remove. And then say okay. So now my draw table is gone. Do we have any questions?
No, we don't. Can you hear me?
Okay. I still can't hear you. Okay. Let me see. What I'm going to go through next. Okay, the other thing that you also have in Word is you have this tell me that's interactive help. So right up here, it says tell me. So I click that and I would type, I want to insert a picture. So I'm going to just type insert picture. Okay, then it gives you a bunch of different options of what insert pictures could be. I could go online pictures. So if I click that, it's going to take me right to the online. Okay. Then you have, this is on page 10 of your book, the File tab. So this is an important one. So if you click File, they'll bring you back to here. I hope you all seen this. Can't tell because Danny can't hear her. I can't hear her. So in the File tab, you have New, and then you have Open, Save, Save As, and Print. So if I go and click this Print, it's going to show you what my document's going to look like when it prints. Questions, anyone? Oh, Annie's coming back to the room. You gotta get a different computer? Do it where? Okay. Yeah, what is that? Okay, so let's go to create a new document. See, I don't know if they're seeing them or not. So I'm gonna go to File. I did. New. How do I don't know how to unmute them. If I go by the participants, is it? No, mine shows up here. Click that. There you go. Allowed to talk. Joe, can you see my screen? Joe? He's not in.
Yes, I can. I can see your screen.
Talking either.
I am talking to you.
Joe, can you hear my screen? Can you see the
Yeah.
screen? With the new
Yes.
document?
I can hear and see your screen.
Are you muted?
I am not muted.
Okay, we have trouble with that. Okay, Annie's getting a different computer, so hopefully we'll be able to hear her. So anyway, I opened up a blank document. So just by hitting that File and New. So I'm gonna go back. And do my share. And here's my blank document. Okay,
Can you hear me?
so that's on page 10 of your book.
Sue, can you hear me?
Now for saving your document,
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me, but Sue can't.
I'm gonna go back and open up that other document I had.
Chat.
Mm,
Okay, so say I've modified this document, so now I want to save it. Because I remember I changed the font to Arial on it, so I want to save it. So to save the document, I'm going to go back to File. I'm going to go to Save As. And I'm going to put it in my document folder. And my document folder comes up. And it's going to try and save it with that same name, but I want to give it a different name. Because I want to keep that original document. So I'm just going to call it random. And it tells me the file type. It's going to save it as a docx, which is the Word document. And say save. Okay, so that's how you save a document. So if you want to look at the navigation pane, which is on page 13 of your book, you're going to click the View tab. And here's where you can see what it's in the read mode, print mode, web layout mode. Here's where you have your ruler. So if I unclick ruler, I don't have a ruler at the top. I like the ruler at the top. If I wanted to show grid lines, I click that, and it's going to give me grid lines. I don't know if you ever would use that, but there's your grid lines. I'm going to unclick that because I don't like those grid lines. And then you have your navigation pane. So I'm going to click that, and here's your navigation pane. So let's say you've got a really big document, and you might want to search for something in it. So this is where you would put in whatever you want to search for. Maybe you have names of people that you might want to look up. So to close that navigation pane, you just would click this X. Any questions so far?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
No? Okay.
Sue, I guess Sue can't hear me. Okay, Joe, I have no idea why you can hear me and
So-
Sue can't, so.
Next, we're going to go to creating margins. So that's on page 15 of your book. You go to that page in my book. So I'm going to go back to the Home tab. So in your ruler, it shows you where your end is. Oh, it's got this little like triangle and box. That's the end. But I can, if I move that, see, it's going to move that word over. And click the little box next to it. It moves the whole thing over. You moved it too far. So that you can adjust it that way, and the same at this side, you can adjust it. Questions? For tabs, tabs is usually 5 spaces, so if you want to change it in increments of 5, you can do that by doing the tab selector, the left end of the ruler. So on page 16, you still can't hear me, huh? What's going on? Can he hear me?
Somebody asked to show how to make something number and it indents and then bring back the indent because they don't like it. So indents them.
No, I didn't do it. All right, Annie came in with a question. I don't know why I can't hear her, but anyway.
Okay, so you need to maybe go down to the bullet list. No, not that. Go all the way down. Good. Bullet list. Whenever we have looked down at the bottom of the screen.
Oh,
So
okay.
pull it back.
Okay, so someone asked about indenting.
You can make it at 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so this is a list of things, vegetables and fruits. So if I want it to be numbered or bulleted,
You could number it. No.
I want to number it. Okay, so I'm going to click that, and now I put a number in front of all of it.
Go back. So then to go back, what would you do? You don't like it that way. You want it to be numbered.
I want to,
So you're using what tool up there?
okay, so I want to decrease my indent. That's what you wanted to know, right?
We'll send a job aid to you.
We'll send a job aid on that as well. Were there any other questions? How come I can't see if there's questions?
Click on tab.
See, I don't have chat. See,
Oh,
I did that.
you can see chat. Okay. I don't know why I can see chat.
See, oh, here's a chat here. See,
There it is.
check speaker volume and audio settings on your, I don't know, that's very weird. It's something with Zoom, Annie said. So I'm not crazy. Okay. So I showed you already how to change your font and use bullets. Oh, we can do page numbers. And that's kind of nice. So page numbers is on page 27 of your book. If I can get to the right page. So to insert page numbers, I'm going to go to the Insert tab. And then we have here, move my thing. We have page numbers over here, header and footer. So I'm going to say page numbers. I'm going to click that. And I'm saying I want it at the bottom of the page. So I click bottom of the page. And I'll have it in the center. It gives you a bunch of different samples. So now if you look at your document, my document, see here's page 1. There's a 1 in the middle. Page 2. Page 3. So that's how you insert page numbers. Now you'll notice how my thing changed. I have now at the top, I've got headers and footers. So that's active. So I can do a different first page because most of the time on your first page, you know that's page number 1. So you wouldn't need to put number 1 on there. So you can say different for the first page. So I'm going to click that. And now if I look at my first page, I don't have a page number. But my second page shows page 2. You'll also notice that my document printing is like a lighter gray. So here's my first page header. So now if I type something in here, I'm going to call it Sue's document. You'll notice how when I type Sue's document, that's a dark black, where the rest of the document is a light gray, because that's the only thing that's active now is your header and your footer. So if I want this front page footer to be different, I can just type in here none, just to type something. So that's how you would do a header and a footer. Okay, so we will have time because I'm moving right along here because I'm not getting any questions. Oh, here comes Annie with the question. Well, I'm waiting for you to come here with the question. I was going to start another subject already. Oh, so look at the chats. Mhm. OneDrive. Okay, so the last thing we're going to go over is going to be the inserting a picture. Okay. So that's on page 28 of your book. Well, that's accessing clip art. So I'm going to go and do that. Page 28. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to have to get a blank document up again. Okay, so here's my blank document. So now I want to insert a picture. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab. And I'm going to go to Pictures, Online Pictures. And it brings up this Bing for me. So now I can search Bing. So maybe I want a picture of a dog. Let me hit enter. And it brings me up all these different pictures of dogs. So this one here looks kind of goofy, so I'm going to select that one. Double click it. And there's my dog. Okay, so I now notice now at the top, I have picture tools is up because the picture is active. So I can change the picture if I want. I can remove the background, can correct it. So if I want to make this smaller, it's always good to grab it in the corner. So I'll grab the corner and make it smaller. I don't want to grab it on the sides or the top or the bottom because look, it distorts it. It makes it wider, it doesn't keep the same dimensions. And the same with at the bottom. It makes it longer. So you always want to grab your picture from the side. So that's how you insert a picture. So any other questions? All right, someone asked if how do they move a picture? Okay, so right now I'm in the picture. I got to get it to have my see how my cursor is now the thing with arrows going both ways? Oh no, first what I have to do is I have to say wrap text. You'll always have to say wrap text to move the picture. So then I'll say square. Okay, so now see I can move it around. So I can move it anywhere I want. But if you don't wrap the text, you can't move it. Okay, I can also go and put a border around my picture. So I'm going to click Picture Border. So I'm going to say I pick out what weight I want it to be. So I want it to be this. Go back to that picture border, and I'm going to pick a color. I'll pick this yellow. So see, when I go to my weight, I can pick this different weight and just changes the weight. Then I can have picture effects. I can have it shadow. And then there's different ways I can have it shadow. See, there's a little bit of a shadow. It's kind of hard to see. And then you have your picture layout. This would be like if you were doing like a flow chart or something. Okay, so that's it for pictures. Okay, someone wanted to know how do they insert pictures from their computer. So I'm going to go click on this one and I'm going to cut it to get it out of there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to go to Pictures. And you go to wherever you have your pictures stored. So my pictures are stored in the picture folder. So if one I want to do is maybe I want to install this fall. So I'll double click that and there's my fall picture. So as long as you know where your pictures are stored, you can store them from your computer. Then once again, I can go and resize this. Like I said, I grab it from the corner and then resize it. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, well, that's it for this class then. Oh wait, Annie's coming back again. Joe wants to know, is there a way to increase the distance between the border edge and the image? What do you mean, Joe? Okay, does anyone else have any other questions?
When you had the
Okay, when
picture
I
of the
had,
dog
Joe
up
had a
there,
question that when I had the dog border was almost touching the dog, can you increase the distance between the edge of the frame and the image? No. Yeah, you want it to touch the dog, so there, you know, that's just the way the picture was made. Okay, so we will send you, if you have any questions, contact me or Annie, and we'll try and get back to you. We're gonna be sending you 2 job aids. Okay, so that's it for the class then.